It is time for Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebel Sports brought to you in part by the Rich School District, Evanston Regional Hospital, Ready, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, the Come On In, the Station on Main, Les Schwab Plains Tire, Stacy's Repair, Summit Pizza, Little Springs Water, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Elaine Ford Brothers, Hometown Drive-In, the Town of Woodruff, T7 Propane, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, the K. Frankham DDS, and the Crawford Trough. Let's go to the Les Schwab Plains Tire broadcast booth and join the voice of the Rebels, Aaron Poling.
And welcome to Cokeville High School, where the Rich Rebels will take place in the very first varsity game of the day, as they will take on the Bear Lake Bears in what is being considered a 1 seed versus an 8 seed matchup, as the Bears went 3-0 in group play yesterday. We have a very, very good game on hand for us today, as these two teams, if you remember last year, played to an instant classic at Bear Lake, with the Rebels falling behind 2-0, coming all the way back from down 2 sets to win 3-2 in an exciting 5th set. As I'm Aaron Poling, thank you for joining us on the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll set the scene for today's matchup. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
When pizza is calling your name, order a Summit Pizza. With homemade dough and all fresh ingredients, every pizza is a culinary masterpiece. Owners Thad and Melissa Willis are Rich High School alumni. They continue the Rebel tradition of excellence and service. Feed your taste buds, feel the happiness with a fresh homemade pizza from Summit Pizza. Don't forget the Doodles, a Summit Pizza original creation. Summit Pizza, 70 West Logan Road, Garden City.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Welcome back into the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, as it is time for your Little Spring scene set for today's matchup, as the Rebels come into the match 3-2. They dropped 2 yesterday to Star Valley as well as Mountain View, and they ended up beating Grace in 4 sets in game number 3 of the day, as we are unsure of what the Bear Lake Bears record is, as Max Preps hasn't been updated for them yet. But I imagine they are 3-0 in the tournament. We don't know if they played a game before that, so we don't want to speculate on their record, but this is a very solid Bear Lake team, as they won 3 games, as they defeated teams including Kemmer yesterday, a team that the Rebels saw on Thursday, and what I thought was a very similar-looking game to the way the Rebels beat Kemmer, so hopefully this is going to be a real good matchup. It's going to be a real good early test for the Rebels against a rival. I mean, it's also a preview of next Thursday, as the Rebels will play Bear Lake later in the week. As when we come back, we will have your standout student of the week, Jaden Desch, who in week 1 had 3 receiving touchdowns. Last night, he had 2 interceptions and a big defensive victory for the Rich Rebels, winning 15-6 over the Monticello Buckaroos. We'll hear from him after this quick commercial break. You are listening to the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com, as well as tuned in on 98.3 KADQ.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
When you need automotive service on your car, truck, semi, or tractor, call Clay and the team at J-Bar Auto in Randolph. J-Bar Auto also offers competitive pricing on tires for all vehicles. Call or stop by J-Bar Auto today.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires.
Here with Jaden Dash, who is our T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week. Jaden, how you doing?
Pretty good.
So you guys, week one under your belt, you guys got a win over Water Canyon. How does it feel in the locker room after a win like that?
Feels pretty good after what Deseret News thought the prediction of the score was, which got us really mad, and so we just went out and played with our at our best ability and turned out really good.
So you hauled in 3 receiving touchdowns in the contest. Just talk about what the game plan was for you going in and just kind of what you saw in all 3 of those touchdowns. There were 3 receiving touchdowns, but they were 3 long receiving touchdowns as well.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to have 3 for the first game. I thought I was just going to have probably none, but I surprisingly had 3. The first one, I don't know how I broke away from the tackle. That was crazy, and the others were super long. And yeah, the pass game was great. I hope it connects like that all year.
Yeah, in fact, on the third one, they let you kick the PAT afterwards. You were so winded, right?
Yeah, I was that long one, left, right, freaking from the field. It was crazy, and I was like, I need a break. I can't do it.
All right, so it's the first day of your senior year, man. So what's going through your mind as you walk into school today? It's the first day, and you are officially the oldest on campus.
It's crazy. I remember being really in middle school, and now I'm a senior, and it's so weird. And yeah, walking in those doors, first first day, it's crazy. I'm just excited for the year. I hope it goes by really slow because I just want to make every memory last.
What are you looking forward to most this year?
Well, mainly just sports and just getting a good education.
So, speaking of sports, the football team, it seems like you guys are really close and that a lot of the kids get along really well. What about the team, not necessarily skill-wise, but people-wise, makes it a special team?
Mainly just like Carter and just like our Noah and Riker and just our starting 8 for our team. I love all of them. I love all the football players, and they're all my favorite. I don't necessarily hate anyone on the team. I love all of them. I can't wait to help what they bring up.
Favorite moment from training camp this year?
It was way fun though. I got to spend a lot of time with them this summer for the last time, and yeah, it was way cool.
So your senior year will be successful this year if you do what? Academic-wise or even sports-wise?
Both. Just trying to get a scholarship offer to any D1 school that I can try to get to, or any school but yeah, that's mostly what I'm trying to go for.
I want to thank Jaden Dash for being a part of today's T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week interview on the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach of the Rich Rebels, Danelle Waz, and you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KADQ.
When you have an emergency, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Open 24/7, the professional emergency room staff is trained for trauma, medical, cardiac, pediatric, orthopedic, and obstetric emergencies. Bear Lake Memorial is a critical access level 3 trauma center, offering immediate access to radiology, lab services, surgery, and internal medicine consults. The ER teams are well-trained professionals who are ready to act. When you have an emergency, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
The team at T7 Propane in Woodruff is always cheering for the Rich Rebels, in sports, in the classroom, and in life. For quality professional propane service, call T7 Propane in Woodruff, 435-793-4208. When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast, just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Here with the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball coach, that's Danelle Wasden. And Coach, you're now 1-0 officially as a varsity coach here at Rich. How does it feel?
Really great. Glad that we're 1-0.
You guys faced a little adversity off the bat for a team last year who, I'm not going to say it went perfectly smoothly because obviously it didn't, but they had a lot of really good moments. How important is it for a team to face adversity throughout the season?
I think it's very important. Our girls, our last game, the coach just kind of threw a curveball at them, and they handled it very well. I was glad to see them keep their heads together and come back and win those next 3 games.
Could you go ahead and talk about the curveball? Because it was an interesting thing, and now that you kind of explained it, it all makes sense why things happen that way. But, credit to the girls. They fought back, and they got a very impressive 3-1 victory over a pretty sound Manila team.
Yes, Manila was very sound. They did a great job. Have some good players, and you can see that their programs, it keeps improving, and it's going to be amazing. So we turned in the wrong lineup. Our girls were not in the rotation they were used to be in, and it was hard. They talk about usually it's the coach's fault when you lose and the players when you win, and it was definitely the coach's. It was our fault that we lost that one. So I was very proud of the girls and how they handled that.
Better now than in the future. But as a coach, even on the human side of it, coaches make mistakes too. As a coach, how can you learn from that mistake?
Definitely, we learn that how do we want to put that rotation in and to double check and make sure it's how we want it. And it's definitely a human thing, probably something we don't want to try again. But you know what? It was, like you said, adversity sometimes is good.
So you guys have a pretty strong week coming up. You guys are going to get quite a few games in, as you'll have Kemmer on Thursday, then the Cokeville tournament Friday and Saturday. First with Kemmer, what are you guys looking forward to for that match?
Just playing the kind of ball that we know how to play and what we've been practicing and work hard. And I believe my girls are amazing, and if they'll come out and play like they should, that it'll be a great weekend. So
can you talk about the Cokeville tournament? Because you guys are in a pretty strong group with Mountain View being a state champion and Star Valley being a really solid program. Then, of course, you have Grace, Idaho in your guys' group. Talk about the competition and how much better that tournament can make you as a whole program.
Yeah, so Cokeville tournament's always a great tournament with amazing teams, and I do feel that we were in a tough bracket, but I also feel the girls have come to practice these last 3 weeks and worked super hard, and we're going to go and learn some things, I'm sure, and also see what we can do, see what they can show the other teams. So I'm excited.
So what do you want to see for your guys' team this week?
I'd like to see some good passing. I'd like to see some perseverance and tough serving and just the good fundamental keys, and I believe they can do it.
When you're experiencing pain from an injury or pain for an unknown reason, it can negatively impact how you function every day. It's good to know that individually supervised physical therapy is available at Evanston Regional Hospital. From athletes to seniors, we assist patients with personalized treatment plans. We offer a broad range of therapies including cardiac rehab, post-surgical rehab, concussion recovery, and sports rehab. Ask your family doctor if physical therapy is right for you or call one of our therapy departments directly. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
The town of Garden City is home to beautiful Bear Lake, where families play together. We welcome you to Garden City and invite you to visit bearlake.org for places to explore and information on upcoming events year-round. The town of Garden City welcomes you as we cheer on the Rich Rebels.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast as we are all set to go here in Cokeville as the Rebels are going to take on the Bear Lake Barrows. Let's go over the starting lineup for the Bears. Number 2, the libero, Sadie Shaw. Number 6, Caitlin Skinner. Number 7, Tasley Neal. Number 19, Brinley Birch. Number 17, Emmy Sharp. And to round out the starting lineup, our ponytail is in the way, but that looks like it's number 11, Claudia Johnson. For the Rebels, it'll be Ava Ellsworth, Janie Walentine, Violet Taylor, Hannah Scott, Haiti Pugmire, and Casey Wilson to start the match. Where I anticipate Ellsworth, the libero for the Rebels, will switch in and out with Paige Smith. First serve off the back line and out of bounds. Bears with an ace right off the bat, as that's the first serve of the game. That was number 6 for Bear Lake, Caitlin Skinner with the first ace as she serves it over. Scott with the dig. They set up Scott on that left wing side, deflected at the line. Shaw with the save for the moment as they reach over, play it back over. It's actually going to be around the antenna, but that was a heck of an effort there from Brinley Birch to keep it alive. We are tied 1-1 as the Rebels will serve for their first time in the contest. Dug out by Shaw. They go left side to Birch. She attacks Ellsworth with a nice dig. Wilson's there to save it. Back to the middle where Walentine safely bumps it over as the Bears set up the attack. They go to Birch on that left wing. She's unable to get there. That's going to fall in on the Bear Lake side. Rebels will pick up the point. They go ahead 2-1 on the station on main scoreboard. Hannah Scott back to the line to serve. Ball over the net. Dug out there by Shaw. Near miscommunication by the Bears as Shaw's going to have to play it over. Rebels on the attack. Taylor on the left wing. She unloads on one, deflected by the front line, and it falls to the floor. Violet Taylor picks up the first kill of the game for the Rebels. They're up 3-1 in set 1. Hannah Scott will serve. Ball over the net. Takes a weird bounce. Good effort to keep it alive. Bears play it over. Scott with the dig as it's played back to the middle where Pugmire bumps it over. Dug out on that side by Skinner. Middle of the floor attack from number 11, Johnson, is going to go too far out of bounds across that back line as they went to the middle blocker. She unleashed one that went about 1.5 feet too far across that back line. Rebels pick up the point. Scott with the serve. Dug out there by Neal. So they're going to go to Birch on that left wing side. She attacks off the arms of Walentine. That's going to deflect into the bleachers as Birch picks up her first kill. To the line to serve is Sadie Shaw. That tips the net, falls in. 2 out of the 3 points so far for the Bears have come off of an ace. Not much the Rebels can do there when it hits the net and dies like that. It's a real good chance it'll fall in as Shaw backs the line to serve. Pugmire digs it out. Wilson sets up Taylor, middle of the floor. She punches it over with that left hand, diving over to keep it alive. Bears make the play. Great defensive play there as they set up Pugmire with the left hand, and that's going to fall to the floor as Haiti Pugmire picks up her first kill of the game. 5-3 Rebels early on. As that was a great defensive play there from the Bears to keep it alive for that extra second. As a couple of diving efforts, one from Neal, one from Shaw. As Pugmire goes to the line to serve, that ball's over the net. Shaw with the dig. Bears go to Birch on that left wing side. Ellsworth gets her hands to it, keeps it alive. Taylor attacks, and she mishit that one into the net. Would not have been on the correct side of the antenna as well. As we get a substitution for the Bears, as Lily Crockett will replace Neal. Emmy Sharp to the line to serve. Ball over the net, and that's going to bounce off a couple of Rebels and another ace for the Bears. Bears have 5 points, 3 of them coming on aces, as the Rebels' serve defense is going to have to be better in the contest. As that one goes into the net, Rebels retake the lead, 6-5. As this game seems a lot like it did yesterday with the Star Valley game, where it's back and forth at the beginning. You imagine these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Casey Wilson serves, dug out by Shaw. As they set up Birch on the right wing side, she finds Hannah Scott in the back row. Rebels keep it alive. They're going to have to tip it over with Wallenstein. They're going to call a lift against Janie, though. Ties it up at 6, as Janie Wallenstein did everything she could to move from the near side of the floor to the middle to try to save that ball. Unfortunately, just landed in her palm a bit too long, as Birch's serve over the net, dug out by Pugmire. Wilson's going to play it to the middle of the floor, where Scott attacks from the 10-foot line. Birch with a dig in the left wing. Middle of the floor for Wells, fresh into the ball game. Her attack finds Haiti Pugmire as they set up an attack on the near side, as Smith tries to attack. Rebels try to save it with Wilson and Smith unable to do so, as the Bears take their first lead of the contest, 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that'll send Birch back to the line to serve. Pugmire digs it out. They go left wing to Taylor. She attacks, that is down and in, as Violet Taylor picks up her second kill of the game as she attacks from that left wing down the near sideline, finds that back corner. 7-7 as it'll send Violet Taylor to the line to serve. She attacks it from the right wing, ball over, played by Birch. As they go near side on the attack, that's number 6. Skinner, her attack goes too far out of bounds as it lands in the bleachers. 8-7, Rebels go back on top. Taylor back to the line. Her serve over the net, dug out by Birch. As they go back to Skinner, this one's off the hands of Casey Wilson, out of bounds, as Skinner picks up the kill after the miss hit, as we're tied at 8. Substitution for the Bears, as Shaw is replaced by number 11, Claudia Johnson. Wells to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Taylor. As they go left wing for Scott, her attack, that's going to be a diving effort there from Birch, off her arms, out of bounds, as Hannah Scott picks up her first kill. 9-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard as the Rebels retake the lead. It's been a seesaw affair so far as Janie Wallenstein serves. That ball is in as they're going to be overturned, the flag judge. That was on the near sideline. We're tied at 9. That ball looked on the line, but the flag judge initially ruled it on the line, but the officials have the power to overturn. They do so there as that serves over the net. Dug out by Taylor. Wilson sets up Pugmire. She attacks. That one goes into the net. 10-9, Bears on top. And, of course, the flag judges for the contest on each side. One is a Rich Rebels player, as I think that's Tyler Pugmire over there, and the other is a parent. So, I mean, Scott will tip it over the net. Dug out by the Bears. They go to Skinner on the near side, deflected. We're going to get into the net, called against, it looks like, the Bears, as it is indeed against the Bears, 10-10. But, you know, when you have volunteers as the officials, you can't expect them to get every single call right. And that serve is going to go too far out of bounds from Smith. Bears go back on top, 11-10. And none of the calls are to be malicious. They're not trying to give their team an edge. It's what they genuinely think, as that's just some of the twists that volleyball has as they dig out the serve, the Rebels do. Pugmire plays it over safely. They go to Birch on the left wing. She attacks. That's going to go into the bleachers as she just couldn't get on top of that one. 11-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Out of bounds across that back line as Ellsworth checks back in for Smith. Hannah Scott will go back to the line to serve. She attacks that one. Dug out by Shaw in the back left row. As they go to Birch again, she tips it over. Ellsworth with the dig. Wilson plays it back to the middle where Pugmire just taps it over. Birch digs it out. Dump set snuffed out there by Ellsworth. Rebels on the attack. They go Taylor left wing. That's going to go too far out of bounds as Taylor tried with a little finesse there. I think that ball bounced off her hand a little harder than she expected it to. Wasn't the full swing there from Violet. She just tried to tip it over. And that ball went a little further, I think, than everyone expected it. 12-11 as that serve's dug out by Scott, played over. Bears on the attack. Nice dig there from Wallentyne in the back row as Taylor's going to push it over from the left wing. That finds Skinner. Setting up Birch. She finds the arms of Wallentyne in the back row. Rebel set up Taylor on the left wing. That's blocked down to the floor by Emmy Sharp. 13-11. Bears go on top. This is their biggest lead of the set so far. Has been 2 as number 2 Shaw will serve. Played over the net. Pugmire with the dig. Rebels go to Taylor, left wing. She attacks. Diving effort to keep it alive by the Bears as they're able to do so. We get a whistle blown as I didn't quite see what the official called. But it looks like the point will go to the Bears, 14-11. As I think they called into the net on Taylor. Shaw with the serve. Taylor with the dig. They're going to go right back to her on the left wing. She'll push it down the sideline. That's going to fall. She turned her body to the middle of the floor. Last second, just dumps it down that near sideline as Violet Taylor with the crafty kill number 3 right there. 14-12 on the station on main scoreboard as Pugmire goes to the line to serve. Left-handed serve over the net, dug out by Skinner in the back row. Middle of the floor, they set up Crockett. They're going to say the Rebels blocked that. That was into the net, but we're going to play on. Credit the front line of the Rebels with a block there as that goes out of bounds, as all is right in the world. So I think that block will actually be credited to Wallentyne. She was the nearest one to it. Pugmire's serve dug out by Birch. They go middle of the floor as it's number 32, Wells, just out across that back line. Rebels have battled back and tied it up at 14. Sends Pugmire back to the service line. In position, lets the left-handed serve go. Dug out in the back row by Skinner. As they try to set up Birch, instead it's Wilson who attacks. They're going to call into the net against the Bears. They got a little discombobulated on that second hit, went over the net. Casey Wilson tried to attack it right away, and we are going to get a timeout called by the Bears sideline. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Rebels on a bit of a 4-0 run right here, 15-14. They were down 14-11 for Haiti Pugmire. Really in charge of the serve throughout this run as she'll step back to the line. As Pugmire lets it go with that left hand. That's going to go too far out of bounds across the back line as Skinner gets out of the way. Ties us back up at 15 apiece. Checking in for the Bears, number 22, Crockett. She replaces Neal. As that serves into the net, Rebels retake the lead. 16-15 on the station on main scoreboard as the Rebels pick up the first point in the race to 10. As Casey Wilson will go to the line to serve. Ball played over. Dug out by Shaw. They go middle of the floor for Wells. Her attack finds the arms of Hannah Scott. As Wilson's able to set up Wallentyne. She tips it over. Played backwards by the Bears. Good job by Shaw to play it back to the middle where the Bears can just bump it over safely. Instead, it goes out of bounds across that back line. So that effort from Shaw all for naught. 17-15, Rebels on top on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Wilson with the serve. That dig was a tough dig in the back row for the Bears. They play it over safely. Go to Taylor on the left wing. Her attempt, dug out by Sharp. Wells hits it into the net. Rebels go up 3, 18-15. And we talked about yesterday in the first game an example of serves from the Rebels that are hard to set up the offense with. That was one right there from Wilson. As Bears dig that out with Skinner as they set up Crockett on the left wing as a block right there from Wells falls in. 18-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard as they send Birch to the line to serve. Rebels up by 2. Birch lets the serve go. That's going to go too far out of bounds across that back line as Pugmire plays a little dodgeball with that one, gets out of the way. The Rebels earn the point. 19-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Violet Taylor steps to the line. Her serve dug out by Shaw. Set up Skinner on that left wing, and she buries it into the net. Rebels go up 20-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Taylor back to work. Serve over the net. Dug out by Skinner. They go to Wells as she attacks from the middle. Pugmire gets an arm to it, gets it high enough in the air for Violet Taylor to run underneath it. Great save there by Pugmire. Bears set up the attack. Left wing to Crockett. She finds Wilson in that back row. Rebels set up Scott on the left wing. Good save there by Shaw as she bends to her right. Setting up Skinner as that's dug out by Wilson. Walentine's going to bump it over for the Rebels. Shaw, she gets the dig. They set up Skinner on that left wing again. That one goes too far out of bounds as the Rebels win a pretty hard-fought point right there. That's a pretty good rally between the two teams. Taylor back to the line to serve. As she lets it go. Nicely dug out there by Birch. They set up well. She finds Taylor with the dig. Scott from the left wing pushes it down that sideline. Diving effort from Birch. As she got to it, was unable to get the ball high enough. Heck of an effort there from Sadie Shaw. 22-16, Rebels on top as we're going to take a quick break as the Bears call timeout again. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as on 98.3 KDQ.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our Rich Rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tire's broadcast booth as we are in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well. This is on 98.1 KDQ. Rebels on top, 22-16. As Violet Taylor to the line to serve. She lets it go, dug out by Skinner. Bears set up the attack. They go right back to Skinner on the left wing. She tips it over. Wilson gets a hand on it for the dig. As Scott will attack from the 10-foot line. That's going to be out of bounds across the left-hand sideline. As Hannah Scott gave it a go from the 10-foot line, nearly found that opposite corner. Heck of an attack there from Scott. 22-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard as it's going to be 22-18. Credit the Bears with another ace. They have 4 of them in the set as this one's going to go to Wells. She goes back to the line to serve. Ball over net. Dug out by Scott. They go middle of the floor to Walentine. She attacks. That's tipped at the net, but it's going to fall in as Janie Walentine picks up the kill. 4 Rebels in set number 1 have kills to their name so far. Walentine also has a block. As Walentine picks up the kill, she'll go to the line to serve. 23-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Lets it go as that is going to be into the hands of Skinner. She's unable to play it, so give Walentine an ace to go along with her kill and block as the Rebels have set point in their hands. So Walentine lets the serve go, and that's going to be an ace. Janie Walentine, back-to-back aces. We'll check that out on the Station Repair replay. Rebels win that first set as Walentine goes cross-court with the serve. Was able to get a little bit of a break there. 25-18, Rebels pick up the first set on the Station on Main scoreboard as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we are in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3 KADQ as the Rebels are up 1-0. Technically in the tournament, this is considered the 1-8 matchup, which is just kind of how the tournament was set apart. We talked about how good the group was for the Rebels that they played in yesterday. As the Bears were able to take care of business on their side of the group, they went 3-0. Therefore, they are one of the higher seeds. They were given the 1 seed over Mountain View. Unsure of how they actually calculate it. As on the right court next to ours, the Star Valley Braves take care of the Cokeville Panthers in the first set, 25-21 in a very spirited bout. As we are awaiting final instructions, we have about 40 seconds left in that end of set timeout. As we'll reset the Station on Main scoreboard. As you can see, Rebels on top, 1-0. That white dot next to the 0, if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com, that signifies set wins for each team. Rebels will serve. Looks like Hannah Scott's going to lead off. As the officials go over last second checks, Shaw's going to check back in for Johnson. As official comes over to the Rich side to finish her checks. As Ellsworth checks in for Smith. Serve is into the net as the Bears start off on top 1-0. They'll send Birch to the line as she'll lead off for the Bears from that service stripe. She attacks, ball over net, dug out by Pugmire. Wilson plays it to the middle where the Rebels are going to bump it over with Scott. Bears look to set up the attack that goes too far over, and we're going to get an into the net call. Actually, it's a lift against the Bears, excuse me. They'll send Pugmire to the line, tied at 1, as we just kicked off set number 2. Pugmire with the left-handed serve, ball over. Dug out in the back row by the Bears. They go middle of the floor to Wells. Ellsworth with a nice dig. As Wilson plays it middle of the floor, Scott with the 10-foot line attack. Gets on top of that one as that's going to fall into the net. 2-1, Bears on top. As if you think back to last year when these two teams played, the Rebels are off to a much better start. As Scott with the dig. Wilson sets up Wallenstein middle of the floor. That's going to get dumped down on the Rebels side by Taisley Neal. A couple of Rebels run into each other as Wilson trying to set that up for Wallenstein a little too far over the net where Neal could tap it over. 3-1 Bears. Of course, last year the Rebels were down, or actually they called a point for the Rebels into the net, 2-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Casey Wilson picks up the ace. Her serve down the left sideline off the back line, out of bounds. That's the third ace of the contest for the Rebels as she goes back to the line to serve. Rebels up 3-2. As that one's going to go too far out of bounds, and we are tied at 3. As the Bears are going to sub Neal back into the game. She'll replace Crockett and head right to the service line. As she approaches with that right hand. Ball's over the net. off the arms of Pugmire. That's going to go out of bounds as Neal picks up her first ace. That's 5 for the Bears. They had 4 in that first set alone. They go on top 4-3. Ball played over. That's going to be out of bounds on the near sideline as Wilson does a good job towing that line and watching it fall out of bounds. Rebels pick up the point 4-4. In set number 2 as Violet Taylor will step to the line to serve. Right-handed serve over the net, dug out by Shaw in the back row as they set up Skinner. We're going to call into the net against the Bears. The Bears sideline exploded after the hit. I thought they were going to get the point. Instead, the Rebels get the point as Shaw digs out Taylor's serve. They go Skinner. Wilson with the dig. As Smith sets up Scott, she'll attack from the 10-foot line. Finds Shaw in that back row, middle of the floor. As Johnson's going to attack from the middle blocker spot. Ball still in the air as Taylor gets the dig on the sharp attempt. Scott's going to attack from the left wing. She finds the arms of Shaw in the back row. Here comes Skinner with her attack. That goes into the net as it's 6-4. And when I mentioned the Bears sideline exploded, that's actually the Rebels sideline as they switch sides with the floor as the Rebels are now on the near side, Bears on the far side. Played over by Skinner. Pugmire with the dig. Walentine's going to attack as the whistle blows. Whistle blows as the players didn't hear the whistle. They continue to play. Bears pick up the point. I think they called a lift against the Rebels. Well, they called a lift before. Sometimes in tournament play with 2 games going on, the whistle, you play through it because you're not sure if it's yours. As Scott gets a setup on the left wing side, too far out of bounds across that back line, and we are tied at 6s here in set number 2. Skinner will serve for the Bears as she finds the arms of Scott in the back row. They're going to set Scott right up on that left wing side, tips it over. Veteran move there from Hannah Scott. She wound up like she was going to crush it. Instead, fires the changeup, gets a swing and miss from the Bears front line. Scott with her 3rd kill of the game. As Walentine goes to the line to serve. Dug out in the back row by Neal. As that's blocked to the net by, I believe, Pugmire got that one. Bears looking to set up. Again blocked by Pugmire. As Hady's gotten 2, and that time the ball hits the net, falls in. Tough break for the Rebels. Pugmire with a pair of blocks, but the Bears tie it at 7. As Shaw will serve. She attacks. Finds Taylor in the back row. They set up Scott on the left wing. She lets one go too far out of bounds across that back line. 8-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels down by 1. As Shaw will serve again. She attacks, lets it go into the arms of Walentine. As the Rebels play it to the middle. Pugmire with one arm is able to save it. Good hustle there from Hady to keep it alive. Bears set up the attack. That's Birch. Dug out by Wilson. Smith bumps it to Scott. She attacks from the 10-foot line. Shaw with a nice dig in the back row for the Bears. They set up Wells, middle of the floor. That's blocked by Pugmire. As they're going to call a lift against the Bears. Rebels pick up the point. As Pugmire picks up her 3rd block in 2 rallies, as Smith will serve for the Rebels, and that's going to fall in as a sophomore picks up an ace. Nice touch there from Paige Smith. That falls in past the front row, in front of the back row, as Smith will go back to the line to serve. 9-8 Rebels. This time dug out in the back row by Skinner as they set up Birch. That's blocked again at the front row, and they're going to call a lift against the Bears, as I believe Pugmire got to that one as well. Smith back to the line to serve as that one's into the net. 10-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels on top by 1 in the set. On top by 1 set in the game as we are in set number 2. As Crockett checks back in for the Bears. Served over by Johnson. Ellsworth with the dig. Rebels set up Scott on the left wing. She attacks. That's going to be too far out of bounds. As Hannah's just a little bit underneath the ball. She gets a bit on top of it more as Coach Wasden giving her some instructions as she gets that dig. That one's going to go out of bounds off of her arms, Bears go back on top, 11-10. As that serve over the net, dug out by Taylor. Rebels set up Pugmire, middle of the floor. As her left-handed attack, dug out by Shaw. They go Birch near side. Ellsworth gets her hands to it. They're going to call into the net against the Rebels. Bears go up 12-10. And back to the point I was trying to make about Scott with her attack. She was a middle blocker last year, had a little bit more real estate to work with as an outside hitter. It's more about angles. That ball is going to go on the line, as that'll be an ace for the Bears. We're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. More from the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth after this, as you are also tuned in on 98.3 KDQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious, and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, and you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. A lot of new Rebels in new positions. Scott was a middle blocker last year for the Rebels. Now she's an outside hitter playing that role more. Wallentine a little bit more of a middle blocker role as well. And, of course, Paige Smith trying to get accustomed to the varsity game, as that's dug out by Taylor as we're underway again. They go right back to Scott, and this time that one's out of bounds across that back line, but they're going to call into the net against the Bears, as the Rebels will pick up the point, 13-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Scott goes to the line to serve, lets it go, dug out by Shaw. Bears on the attack, they go to Wells. That's going to stay in bounds as it was tipped at the front of the net. Bears pick up the point, 14-11, as that was Wells with the kill, her first. Bears using the middle blocker spot a lot more here in set number 2 as Birch lets it go. Scott with the dig. Rebels try to set up Pugmire, who does a good job just keeping the ball in play over the net. Bears on the attack as it's Skinner. Ellsworth with a dig. Wilson sets up Taylor. She's going to get a lift call. 15-11, Bears on top. Birch to the line to serve. As she lets it go, Pugmire with the dig. Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing. She attacks as it's played over the net. Point's going to go to the Rebels as they call into the net, as Taylor was going to tip that down over the front line. 15-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Pugmire goes to the line to serve. Pugmire lets it go. Dug out in the back row by Birch. They go near side Skinner. That's deflected out of bounds off the front line of the Rebels. Point will fall in as Skinner will pick up the kill, her second by my count. They'll send Wells to the line to serve. Johnson's going to check out for Shaw. As Johnson serves it over, Scott with the dig. Wilson sets up Taylor, left wing. She attacks. That's off the arms of the Bears player, Sharp, and out of bounds as Taylor picks up the kill. That's her fourth of the contest. They'll send Casey Wilson the line to serve. 16-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels looking to mount a comeback here in set number 2. As Wilson serve over the net. Dug out by Birch. As they go to Skinner on the near side, that's into the net. Rebels pick up the point. 16-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Wilson back to the line to serve again. Wilson plays it over. Dug out in the back row by Skinner. She's going to attack the ball. Just tips it over. Casey Wilson with the dig. Wallentine will punch it over. Dug out by Sharp. Set up Birch on the left wing side. She finds Pugmire as the Rebels go to Taylor on the left wing. She punches it with that left hand. Played back by the Bears. It's Birch. That's deflected off the net, off the hands of Wallentine by Wilson. 17-14 as it looked like the Rebels had that played perfectly except for the deflection, as it's a tough break there. Gives Skinner her third kill. as that serve is dug out by Taylor over the net. Bears nearly misplay that. They save it, though, as the Rebels set up Wallentine. She's just going to bump it over. It tips the net on the way through. Bears look to attack. They do. A Skinner blocked to the net by Smith. It's played over as Taylor's going to safely bump it over. Rebels live to fight another play, but the Bears unable to keep it in play, as on the dig attempt, they play it towards the wall. 17-15 on the station on main scoreboard. Rebels looking to mount the comeback as Smith gets a block. A huge block to keep the play alive. Bears play it to Birch. That's blocked again. This time I think Wallentine got to it. As Bears bump it over, Rebels looking to attack. Smith sets up Scott left wing. She unloads on one, deflected high in the air by that front line. Shaw's able to get under it. They go to Skinner, blocked and in! As I believe Wallentine got to that one too, as we check it out on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. As it's either Wallentine or Smith, doesn't matter to the Rebels. They get the point as they now trail by one with Taylor serving. Shaw digs it out. They go middle of the floor for Johnson, and her attack is too far out of bounds across that back line, and we are tied 17-17 with Violet Taylor to serve. As Taylor serve, dug out in the front row. Bears do a good job keeping that alive as Taylor comes flying in for the dig. Wilson plays it middle of the floor where Wallentine's going to bump it over to that back corner. Shaw with the dig. Bears on the attack. They go to Skinner, near sideline, out of bounds, too far across that back line. Rebels on top, 18-17, with Taylor back to the line to serve. As we're going to get a timeout called, I think by the Bears this time, as you are watching 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuned in on 98.3 KDQ.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. We are in the second set of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 The Wildlife KADQ, as the Rebels are up 1 point in the set. They're up 1-0. As it is 18-17, they've stormed back from being down 4. As an update on the right court, as the Braves, they're up 1-0, 19-12 in the game, as Taylor, in set 2 for the Braves. Taylor served, dug out by the back line of the Bears, and they're unable to get it over the net as they make a mess of that one. 19-17 on the station on main scoreboard with Violet Taylor back to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Shaw. As they set up middle of the floor, that's tipped in the air. Diving effort from Wilson keeps it alive. They go to Wallentine. She attacks. That's a good dig there in the back row by Birch. Rebels have the ball. They set up Scott left wing. She pops it over with 2 hands. Good read there by Neal to keep it alive. Attack from Skinner. Finds Pugmire in the back row. Here comes Scott on the attack for the Rebels. She finds Birch in that back row as Smith tries to tap it over. This time Scott's going to dump it down that sideline as Hannah Scott picks up the kill. But let's check out the play by Casey Wilson to keep that entire rally alive as she makes a diving effort there on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. Go back to our live cam. Rebels on top, 20-7. Taylor with the dig as they go to Skinner near side. Pugmire with the dig. Scott left wing attack. That's going to be a diving effort from Shaw to keep it alive. Bears are able to play it over. It's deflected, and we're going to get into the net called against Smith, as it would have fallen to the floor either way. Bears pick up the point, 20-18 on the station on main scoreboard. Skinner's serve, dug out by Hannah Scott. They're going to go back to Scott. She'll try to attack from the back row. Miss hits that one, 20-19 on the station on main scoreboard. Rebels still up 1. Ball served into the net as Rebels pick up the point, 21-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Skinner's serve is mishit. As Armstrong is going to check in for Skinner. Wallenstein to the line to serve. Her serve over the net. Dug out by Neal. Bears played over as Pugmire gets the dig, gets the attack as well. Nice dig by Shaw. Here come the Bears. Middle of the floor, tipped over by Johnson as Pugmire tries to punch it with the left hand. Bears punch it back. Rebels set up the attack, trying to go to Smith. We're going to get a lift call against the Rebels. 20-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that'll send Shaw to the line to serve. Her serve over the net, dug out by Wallenstein. As they go middle of the floor to Pugmire, she pushes it over with two hands. Neal with the dig. As they set up, Wells on the side, and she attacks from the middle. She goes down that right sideline off of Wallenstein into the wall, out of bounds. As the Bears use the middle blocker right there again as Wells picks up the kill. Shaw will serve. Scott with the dig. As Wilson sets Scott up on the left wing, she attacks off of the arms of Neal, out of bounds as Scott picks up her team-leading 5th kill of the contest. 22-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that ball caught Neal up high, she appears to be all right. Scott unleashed a howitzer down that left sideline as Smith serves. Dug out by Armstrong. As it goes Skinner, actually make that Birch, her attack into the net. Rebels up 2, 23-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard as it'll send Smith back to the line to serve. Her right-handed attack into the air, dug out by Armstrong, middle of that back row. Bears are going to be called for the lift as the Rebels on top, 24-21, as set point is into the arm of the sophomore Smith. She releases, ball over net, dug out by Neal, played right over to the Rebels side as they're going to go Scott, left wing attack. As she attacks, punched into the net by Scott, able to keep it alive for the moment was Pugmire. Scott tried to dig it out and over on that third hit. Real tough thing to do when you're that close to the net. It falls in on the Rebel side, 24-22, as Sharp will go to the line to serve. Her serve dug out by Taylor. Wilson tried to set up Scott, mishits that one. It's going to fall in on the Rebel side, 24-23, Rebels on top. They want to win this set in regulation. They have to do it right here on this point. As that serve dug out by Ellsworth. Wilson sets up Scott as she pushes it down the sideline. Shaw with the dig. Bear set up the attack as it's tipped into the air. Taylor with the dig as Wilson's able to push it over. Bears on the attack. They play it to Wallenstein. Rebels set up Scott left wing. Tips it. Diving effort to keep it alive by the Bears. They're able to do so as it's pushed over by Birch. Ellsworth digs it out. Rebels set up Scott as she pushes it down the sideline. What an attack there from Hannah Scott with precision. She finds that near sideline. Let's check that out on the Stacey's Repair instant replay. Hannah Scott's having herself a contest here early this morning. She reads the defense well there, pushes it down the sideline. Rebels win this one 25-23 as we're going to take a commercial break. You are watching 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as on 98.3 KADQ.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
With the title defense underway, the Rich Rebels hit the road for an early season test. They take on the Kemmer Rangers Thursday night at 6 p.m. The tough sledding continues as the Rebels travel to the Cokeville Invite, where they will play the Star Valley Braves in the opener at 8 a.m. Stay tuned for day 2 of the tournament, as we'll have every single Rebels match from day 2 of the Cokeville Invite. This is Aaron Poling inviting you to catch all of these games on 98.3 KADQ as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Playing Stars broadcast booth in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team, online at mylocalradio.com. Rebels up 2-0 on the station on main scoreboard as we fix that scoreboard. As I attempt to fix the scoreboard, I keep screwing it up. There we go. We got it right. If you don't succeed the first time, try again, and maybe you'll get it right. As that time is able to do so, as it is 2-0 in sets for the Rebels. They are going to be on the far side as looking to close this one out in straight sets. Bears will serve. And that last attack from Hannah Scott's kind of the evolution of her game as an outside hitter. As sometimes it's hard to see the floor, and that time she saw the floor perfectly. And instead of hitting the ball hard and crushing it, she used a little finesse there with a two-handed set, as they would call it, a set attack, and she just bumped it where nobody was, and that was the key point for the Rebels there, as it was 25-23 in set number 2. As if you can't get enough of these guys already, next Thursday these two teams will square off again, and this has been a very entertaining match. Sharp will lead off for the Bears. Ball played over the net, dug out by Taylor. As Wilson chases it down, plays it over to Scott, who's going to bump it over. Shaw with the dig, set up the attack. Far side for Birch. She attacks too far out of bounds across that back line, as Birch unleashes on the ball just a little too far, as Scott will be the opening server for the Rebels here in set number 3. Lets one go with the right hand, dug out by Shaw. They go middle of the floor to Wells. Her middle of the floor attack blocked by Pugmar. Diving effort to keep it alive from Armstrong. Bears push it over. Rebels on the attack as they set up Taylor left wing. She unloads on one. That's going to find the hardwood, as we'll check that out on our Stacey Japer replay, as Taylor attacks from that left wing, finds the middle of the floor between Shaw and Armstrong. Rebels go up 2-0 on the station on main scoreboard. Scott back to the line to serve. Armstrong with the dig, as Walentine's going to get an opportunity at it. Dug out there by Sharp. Wells attacks. Walentine tips it. As they go left wing, Taylor, she unloads, and that one's going to hit the floor, as Violet Taylor has 2 early kills in the set to have 6 in the game. 3-0 Rebels on the station on main scoreboard. As don't look now, but Haiti Pugmire at that front of the line, she has 5 blocks to her credit already. Armstrong with the dig on the Taylor serve, or make that the Scott serve. Bears play it over. Ellsworth with a dig. Pugmire is going to push it over with that left hand. It's blocked by Wells. It's a good defensive play there from Hallie Wells, as Pugmire had to vacate her spot at the front of the net to play it over, and Wells just with a little finesse tips it down. Skinner will check in for Armstrong as they send Birch to the line to serve. Ball over net, dug out by Pugmire. Wilson does a good job getting it back to the middle of the floor for Taylor. Shaw digs it out as they set up Birch on the far side. Tries with left hand, dug out by Ellsworth, diving dig, as Pugmire tried to play it over with finesse. Doesn't play it hard enough into the net. Rebels will lose the point as Pugmire charged with a hitting error. Birch back to the line to serve. Ball over net. Rebels go left wing. Taylor, she attacks. Tipped by the front line and down, as Violet Taylor has 3 kills in the set already. Give her 7 in the contest, as they'll send Pugmire to the line to serve. 4-2 Rebels on the station on main scoreboard as Shaw digs it out. Chased down there nicely by Sharp as she sets up Skinner. Ellsworth with a diving dig, keeps it alive, and that is a nice attack there from Sharp from that back row. Finds that very back far corner. 4-3 on the station on main scoreboard. As Wells will serve. Johnson into the game for the Bears. Taylor digs out the serve. They're going to go right back to her on the attack. She finds the hardwood, as we'll check that out on the Stacey Repair instant replay. Violet Taylor with another kill here as she finds the space in between the back two defenders. As we talked about court vision, Violet Taylor showing off a little bit of court vision there. 5-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Casey Wilson will serve. Ball over, dug out by Skinner, as that's blocked to the front of the net. This time Taylor got there. They set up Skinner, blocked, and that's going to fall in on the Rebels side. As I believe Smith got her hands to it, but it fell behind her. That'll send Neal to the line to serve for the Bears. 5-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Pugmire digs it out, Wilson sets up Wallenstein from the middle of the floor. Swing and a miss as that falls in on the Rebels side. 5-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Neal to serve again. Wallenstein, Pugmire digs it out to go Taylor left wing, pushes to the middle of the floor. Shaw dives, keeps it alive. Another dive, this time from Neal to keep it alive. Bears bump it over. Rebels on the attack. Back to Taylor on the left wing. She attacks. Birch with a nice dig. They go to Johnson, middle of the floor. Hannah Scott digs it out in the back row. Taylor, left wing attack. That's blocked high in the air as Taylor punches it over with her left hand. Legitimately punches it with the fist as they go to Skinner, left wing, and she finds the hardwood in between Pugmire and Scott in that back row on the right corner. 6-5 Bears on the Station on Main scoreboard as Neal back to the line to serve. Real competitive rallies between the two teams all day as Taylor digs it out. Wallenstein, middle of the floor, just tips it, finds the arms of Skinner. They're going to go right to the middle of the floor for Armstrong. Blocked by Smith as they're going to get a lift call against Casey Wilson as she went diving to get the ball that Smith blocked, but unfortunately by doing that she was out of position when the Bears tapped it back over. Just trying to reach out and save it. It's called for the lift. Scott digs out the serve. They're going to go middle of the floor where Wallenstein bumps it over. Shaw. They set it up, and that's going to fall in on the Rebels side as it looked like Wallenstein and Smith got a piece of that one. Falls in. Bears go up 8-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in set number 3. Get a little bit of a timeout for Neal to tie her shoe. Lets it go. Right-handed serve over the net. Dug out by Scott. It's going backwards as Pugmire can't get there as that ball's in the bleachers. Give Neal an ace, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels sideline as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
Buying or selling real estate can be fun, especially when you have a realtor that's working hard on your behalf. Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty have unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise. The team at Bear Lake Realty will work to get you the best price. Whatever you're looking for, buying or selling, residential, commercial, year-round living, half shares, quarter shares, or income property, hire the best real estate company, Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast. It's time for the Bear Lake Fan Camp brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. When you need a realtor, whether you're buying or selling, hire the best. Gary McKee and Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com, or call 435-946-8888. As we are back to the action, the Bears on top, 9-5 here in set number 3. Rebels on top, 2-0. As that serve goes too far out of bounds, as that'll break up the run the Bears had. Rebels were up 3 to start the run, as they now trail by 3 at the end of it. As Taylor serves it over, dug out by Birch. They go to Skinner. That is off the net, high in the air. Rebels will set it up as Smith tries to attack that. Goes under the net and catches Wallenstein up high. As I thought the ball went under, it did as the Rebels pick up the point on Smith's attack. Smith gets the kill as that ball rolled along the top of the net. Taylor serves it over, dug out by Shaw. They go to Skinner on the left wing. She tips it as it's going to fall in front of Wallenstein. Crafty play there from Skinner to pick up the kill, her 4th. Makes it 10-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Played over. Dug out by Taylor. They go Scott left wing. She attacks, and that's blocked. Wilson's able to get there. Scott attacks again. Good dig there by Johnson. Bears play it over. That's going to fall in. They go up 11-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Skinner to the line to serve. Attacks. Lets it go. Taylor with the dig as Wilson tries to get underneath that to clean it up from under the net. Unable to do so. Bears go up by 5, 12-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Skinner to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Scott. To go Wallenstein, middle of the floor attack, trying to find that back corner. Shaw gets the dig. They set up Birch as she tips it over as it's out of bounds, but I think Smith got a piece of that one as she did. 13-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Skinner serves it over, dug out by Scott. She'll attack from the left wing. Shaw with a nice dig in the back row. As they set up Skinner on the left wing, that is deflected out of bounds off the Rebels as they got their hands to it. 14-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. The Bears have doubled up the Rebels here in set number 3. Ball played over. Taylor with the dig. As they try to set up Scott, she runs. That's deflected. She bumps it over off the deflection. Good hand-eye coordination there. As the Bears trying to set up Johnson. Unable to do so. That's going to fall in front. 14-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels looking to build some momentum and come back here as they send Wallenstein to the line to serve. Armstrong into the game for the Bears. She replaces Skinner. Ball played over. Dug out in the back row by Neal. Set up Birch on the wing as she unloads. That one's too far out of bounds as Violet Taylor does a good job to get out of the way of that missile. 14-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wallenstein with the serve. That's going to go too far out of bounds as the Bears get the serve right back. 15-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Shaw will serve. Wallenstein dug out as that's going to be 2 hits called against the Bears as Sharp tried to attack it on the first hit over. She hit it into the net and then tried to play it back in the air. Human reaction right there when you see the ball to hit at it. That's going to be 2 hits. Rebels get the serve as Smith lets it go. Dug out by Armstrong. They go middle of the floor to Wells, who attacks. That's off the arms of Wallenstein over the head of Taylor out of bounds. As that was pretty well defended, just unfortunately took a bad bounce for the Rebels. 16-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bears with the serve. Dug out by Ellsworth. Wilson sets up Pugmire, who taps it over with that right hand. Bears set up the attack to Birch. She's just going to flip it over. Scott with the dig. Wilson tries to set up Scott on the left wing. She'll just bump it over, and it's going to fall in for a kill as Hannah Scott with precision there on the bump. Finds the back right corner as Shaw came flying in to try to save that one. It's actually 16-11. I had it 16-10. They update it in-house. Rebels trail by 5 as Scott to serve. Shaw with the dig. As they go right sideline to Birch, she attacks. I think that dig's going to go to Scott as they set up Taylor on the left wing, and she hits it too far out of bounds. As they're going to call the deflection. As Taylor will pick up the kill. Scott back to the line to serve. Dug out by Shaw. As they set up the lefty, Crockett on that left wing. Her attack dug out by the Rebels, played over by Taylor. Going back to Crockett on the left wing. This time with the right hand, she finds Ava Ellsworth in the back row. Taylor will attack with her left hand. Dug out nicely by Armstrong. Back to Crockett, left wing. Actually, it's Birch this time. Blocked by Haiti Pugmire. Give her 6 in the contest as she's been a force at the net for this Rebel squad. 16-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Scott will serve again for the Rebels. You know, coming off an injury the way Haiti did after 2 years, you never know what you're going to get out of a player, but she's been impressive since she's come back after a year off of volleyball as Birch tips it over. Diving effort to keep it alive. Another diving effort. Rebels are going to be able to bump it over with Ellsworth. Diving effort from Birch to keep it alive, as well as safely bumps it over. Ellsworth with the more routine dig. Go to Taylor on the left wing. Shaw, she pops that one up in the air to Birch on the wing. Wallenstein with a good dig there. Wilson sets up Taylor. Two-handed attack. Falls in as Violet Taylor pulls the Rebels within 2. give Violet Taylor 10 kills in the contest as Scott back to the line to serve. As her serve goes out of bounds, too far long. 17-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Skinner into the game for Armstrong. That gives the Bears another option on the attack. Serve from Birch, dug out by Scott. Taylor's going to bump it over. Bears on the attack. They go middle of the floor to Wells. She attacks. Wallenstein can't quite get there as that falls in front of her. 18-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. If the Rebels want to sweep, they're going to have to make their move now as Birch goes back to the line for the Bears. She attacks. Nice dig there by Scott as that deflected off the tape. They go to Pugmire on the right wing side. That's going to go too far out of bounds on the right sideline. 19-14 Bears. For the Rebels, you want to try to build some momentum towards the end of this set. Scott with the dig. Taylor winds up, left wing attack, finds the hands of Shaw. Bears bump it up in the air as it's going to be pushed over by Wells. Scott with the dig in the back row. Battle for it at the net. Off of Wells, it's going to fall in as Casey Wilson will pick up the kill. 19-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As they'll send Pugmire to the line to serve. Left-handed serve over the net, dug out by Shaw. They go Wells, middle of the floor. She attacks, and she's going to find the space between Pugmire and Scott in that back row. Good attack there from Wells. 20-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Wells will go to the line to serve. Make that Johnson into the game for the Bears. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She hammers one that's going to float high into the air, out of bounds as it lands on the duck into the bleachers. Rebels pick up the point. Violet Taylor with another kill. Give her 11. Shaw back into the game for the Bears as she replaces Wells. Wilson to serve. Ball over net. Dug out there by Birch. Bears looking to set something up. They push it over, and unfortunately Wilson couldn't quite get enough on that dig to hit it up in the air. It goes away from a teammate, and Rebels are going to call a timeout. And with that, we're going to take a commercial break. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether you're recovering from an injury, just had surgery, or you're dealing with a chronic condition, Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. In addition to the top-of-the-line facilities, we are the only physical therapy clinic in Southwest Wyoming with a full-size therapy pool and spa for aquatic-based treatment. Call today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we are in the middle of 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. Rebels trail in set number 3, 21-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard, but they're ahead 2-0 as it is Neal with the serve. Rebels dig it out in the back row. They set up Taylor left wing. She attacks. Nicely done there by Birch. Skinner will attack from the left wing. That is in as she finds that back corner. 22-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bears are 3 points away from extending this one. Rebels looking to build a little momentum here in the end of the set as that serve is going to go off the side of the hand of Neal, out of bounds for a service error. The rare service error against the Bears. They've been very good from the line getting the ball over. Sends Taylor to the line. She lets it go. Dug out by Shaw. As they go middle of the floor for Armstrong, she attacks. That goes into the net. 22-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Taylor will go back to the line to serve. Lets it go with the right hand. Shaw with the dig. They set up Crockett left wing. She attacks off the arms of Taylor, out of bounds. As that'll be a kill for Crockett. Should make that Skinner. It's her 5th. As she gets the kill, goes to the line to serve. Ball over. dug out by Taylor. As they go left wing to Scott, she attacks, blocked, kept in the air by Taylor over the net. Good reaction there from Violet Taylor to keep it alive. Skinner taps it over, punched by Wallentine, but she hit it twice. 24-18, Bears on top. They have set point in the hands of Caitlin Skinner. Skinner lets it go, dug out by Taylor. They set up Scott on the left wing. That's tipped over. Scott's going to pick up another kill here in set number 3, her 8th of the contest. 24-19 as Rebels look to mount a comeback here. Going to send Wallentine to the line to serve. Ball over net, dug out by Shaw. Bumped high in the air for Birch. She attacks. It's off the arms of Wallentine, out of bounds as the Bears pick up set number 3. As you were watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ. More from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth after this.
We're off to the rodeo. My Local Rodeo is proud to bring you live streaming coverage of high school rodeo from Utah and Wyoming, as well as the Intermountain Icebreaker of the National High School Rodeo Association's Western Legacy Series in 2023 and 2024. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast sponsor and advertising your business to the most loyal group of viewers in the country, you won't find a better opportunity. Call us today to claim your spot, 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116. We're off to the rodeo.
With the title defense underway, the Rich Rebels hit the road for an early season test. They take on the Kemmer Rangers Thursday night at 6 p.m. The tough sledding continues as the Rebels travel to the Cokeville Invite, where they will play the Star Valley Braves in the opener at 8 a.m. Stay tuned for day 2 of the tournament, as we'll have every single Rebels match from day 2 of the Cokeville Invite. This is Aaron Poling inviting you to catch all of these games on 98.3 KADQ, as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we are heading to set number 4 as the Rebels are on top. Two sets to 1 as we head to set number 4. This is playing out pretty similar to how the Bears or the Rebels game against Grace went yesterday, as they lost set number 3, looking to bounce back. Rebels have the ability to. As they will be on the near side this set. Bears on the far. Rebels will lead off on the serve. Looks like Scott's going to the line to be the first server of the set. On the court next to us, the Braves are 4 points away from a 3-0 victory over the Cokeville Panthers. Actually make that 3 points away now, as that a spike attempt from Engelhart. Remember that name from yesterday, goes off of the Panthers player out of bounds. Rebels are ready to roll. 27 seconds left to go in the timeout. Following our matchup here, it will be the Evanston Red Devils taking on the Lyman Eagles. Winner of our match will play the winner of that match. As the two losers of those two matches will play as well. As we're nearly ready to go, Bears taking every second of that 2-minute and 30-second timeout. In fact, a little bit more as the clock winds down to 0. Rebels will serve first with Scott. Official gives her the ball. As we wait for the flag official, actually going to wait for the ground official to finish her checks. 2-1. Rebels on top, looking to close this one out here in set number 4. Don't want to go to a set 5, as if you remember recent history between these two teams last year, Rebels fell behind 0-2, got to a set 5. As Scott with the serve. attack that's tipped at the front of the line. Rebels able to get underneath it. Go Taylor, left wing. She attacks that left hand. Dug out there by Crockett. Middle of the floor, Wells. That's blocked into the air. Rebels pick it up. They go Pugmire, middle of the floor. Her left-handed attack finds Armstrong in that back corner. Diving effort from Wells to keep it alive. Bears just bump it over. Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing. She taps that one, finds Shaw in the back row. They go near side to Crockett, and that's going to fall in, and she tips it over the front line. Bears go up 1-0 in the set on the Station on Main scoreboard as they will serve. As that was Sharp with the kill. She'll go to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Pugmire. Too far as Wilson has to save it. Wallenstein keeps it in the air. Wilson punches it over. Great job. That's actually Taylor with the diving effort. They go to Birch. Her attempt blocked high into the air on the Rebels side as Ellsworth plays it to the middle where Pugmire is going to safely bump it over. Armstrong digs it out. Bears attack. They go Crockett. She tips it. Finds Scott. Rebels go to Taylor, left wing. She attacks with that right hand off the arms of Shaw, out of bounds. As the Rebels pick up the point, and Taylor picks up her 12th kill of the game. 1-1 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Pugmire will serve. Ball over the net. Dug out by Shaw. As they set up Crockett with the left hand. Scott digs it out nicely in the back row. Middle of the floor for Wallenstein. She attacks. Finds Shaw, middle back row. They go Wells. As she tips it over, whistle blows. They're going to get into the net, called against the Bears, as that's a big call as Wells had found some hardwood on that back right corner.
I got swept. The score's over here.
Pugmire to serve. Ball over. Shaw digs it out. You go Crockett with the left hand. Scott digs that out nicely, but over the net, tipped at the front of the net. Wallenstein had the ball bounce off of her arm under the net as she was trying to get low to save that one after a battle at the net. It's a great attempt there from Scott. That sends Birch the service stripe. She finds the arms of Pugmire. Wilson sets up Taylor, left wing. She attacks. That's blocked as Taylor's able to put it back into the air. Wells has her attempt dug out by Pugmire as Taylor tries an attempt that goes into the net as the Bears go on top 3-2 in set number 4. Birch back to the service line. Couple dribbles. Lets it go with the hand. As the Rebels set up Wallenstein, she's going to bump it up as that play got a little discombobulated. Bears on the attack. As they go to Skinner, who just got enough of that ball to get it over the net. She mistimed her jump badly, but was able to get just enough of that ball to get it over. It's a great athletic play there by Skinner to stay in the air long enough to get the attempt over. As that serve goes out of bounds across the back line, Pugmire set up underneath it like she was going to play it, got out of the way. And it's a smart move that she did as that goes across the line out of bounds. As Wilson will serve, Bears up 4-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that one's going to go into the net off the side of her hand. 5-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wells will serve. That's dug out by Taylor. She gets out of the way. Scott chases it down. Casey Wilson bumps it over safely as the Bears set up the attack. They go near side. Skinner, that's in as she finds the hardwood on the far side. 6-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels down by 3 here in set number 4, but they lead 2-1. Wells with the serve to the arms of Taylor. As Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing, she attacks, finds Wells in that back row. As the Bears all look at each other as it falls in. Credit Violet Taylor with another kill, her 13th of the game. As after the kill, she'll go to the line to serve. Ball in the air, finds Shaw in that back left corner. Go middle of the floor to Johnson. Her attack finds Violet Taylor. Scott on the left wing. As she gets enough of that one to get it over. As the Bears fumble it around, they're not going to be able to get it over as they make a mess of that one. A couple of players ran into each other on the first bump, and they were unable to recover after that. 6-5, Bears on top by 1. As Violet Taylor into the net, 7-5, Bears go up 2. The Rebels are going to lament something about this match so far. It's probably going to be service errors. Crockett's in line to serve. It's dug out by the Rebels as Scott's going to attack from the middle of the floor. Finds Shaw. Bears on the attack. That's blocked by Wallenstein. Actually, it goes into the net as there'll be 4 hits called against the Bears. As Wallenstein will go to the line to serve. She lets it go. That back corner just too far out of bounds on that far side. Another service error against the Rebels. They have 4 so far in this set alone. Bears are on the comeback trail. You want to try to force them to earn their way back. The Rebels dig that serve out. Scott on the left wing. She attacks. It's deflected. Diving effort from the Bears keeps it alive. That's a great play by Skinner as the Rebels on the set attempt go too far over the net as Birch gets a free opportunity to crush one to the floor. 9-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. The Rebels have been a little sloppy here in the last 2 sets. Skinner with the serve. Dug out by Scott. They're going to go right back to her on the attack. From the left wing, Shaw gets her arms to it. Bears will attack with Skinner as she whiffs on that one. 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Skinner didn't quite get that ball where she wanted to. She'll be replaced by Armstrong. They'll send Smith to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Neal. Bears on the attack with Birch. She tips it over, finds Hannah Scott. As they're going to go right back to Scott on the attack. Off the arms of Shaw. Does a good job keeping it in as Birch attacks. As Smith with the dig. As that's going to go into the bleachers. Out of bounds. That's another kill for Birch. She's got 9 in the contest. Shaw will serve. Ball over. Dug out by Scott. They go right back to Scott as she attacks from the left wing. Shaw with a good dig. Wells plays it sideways. Bears are not going to be able to play it over as that actually got closer than I thought it would as it hit the tape and fell back in on the Bears side. It's a pretty good effort there from Birch to keep that ball alive as she had to run nearly to the other court to get to it. Almost played it back over. Rebels will serve. Scott dug out by Armstrong as they go to Birch. Blocked by Pugmire as Bears are going to have to bump it over with Wells. Scott with the dig. Rebels looking to set up. Taylor, left wing on the attack as that is tipped into the air and falls in as the Rebels will pick up the point. 10-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Taylor picks up her 4th kill. As Scott back to the line to serve. Lets it go. Dug out by Crockett to Wells. As that's going to go over the head of Ellsworth as she moved in on the play. That's a good play there by Wells as she read the floor. Finds that back corner from the middle blocker spot. 11-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Sharp at the line. Lets it go. Dug out by Scott. Rebels set up Taylor on the left wing. She attacks. That's too far out of bounds as that hits the bleachers. Ricochets back to the floor. 12-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Violet got a little bit underneath that one. As uneasy times for the Rebels. They trail by 3 here in set number 4. They're up 2-1. As Wilson sets up Pugmire on the right wing. Dug out by Shaw. Bears try to tip it over as Pugmire gets to it. Ellsworth can't quite get there. As it's going to go into the net. Fall in on the Rebels side. 13-9. As 3 Rebels try to punch that one over the net after it hit the net. As that serves dug out by Scott. Hit the backboard. Good execution by Wilson to get back to the ball as Taylor safely bumps it over. Rebels looking to play it. As that's blocked down to the floor for Haiti Pugmire. Her 7th of the game. As Pugmire has been very good at the net for the Rebels today. 13-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard after the block and the kill. She'll go right to the line to serve. Lets one go. That tickles the tape. Shaw with a diving effort to keep it alive. Bears have to tap it over as Ellsworth. Scott was there to play it. Ellsworth jumped in front. As the Bears are going to sub in Crockett for Armstrong. 14-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Birch will serve. She attacks, dug out by Scott. Rebels will set up Taylor on the left wing as she pushes it over with the left hand. Blocked down by Neal. And the Rebels trail by 5 here in set number 4. As we're going to take a commercial break, you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well. It's on 98.3 KADQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. 15-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels up 2-1. They trail by 5 here in set number 4. As uneasy times for the Rebels. If you think back to recent history between these two teams last year, Rebels fell behind 2-0 against the Bears in Bear Lake. Stormed back to win that one. Bears looking to flip the script against the Rebels. They'll send Birch to the line to serve. Scott with a dig as Wilson sets up Taylor. She attacks on the left wing. Off the arms of a couple of Bears players. They're able to save it, but it goes into the net as Skinner couldn't quite get to that ball. 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. See how the Rebels respond after that timeout. They pick up the first point. Wilson. Right-handed serve goes over the net. Birch digs it out. Wells, middle of the floor on the attack. Finds a space between Pugmire and Scott. 16-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bears go back up by 5 as Wells will go to the line to serve. Really the difference so far in the score have been the service errors for the Rebels here in the set. They have 4, trail by 5 as Taylor attacks out of bounds off of the front line. Taylor picks up her 15th kill of the game. 16-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Taylor with the serve, dug out nicely by Skinner. They're going to go right back to her. She pushes it over with 2 hands. As Wilson, reaching back, takes a swing at the ball that Violet Taylor was probably going to get to. Another communication error there for the Rebels. That falls in. Wallenstein digs it out. Wilson bumps it back to the middle where Pugmire's going to play it over. Bears look to set up the attack. They go to Johnson as that's going to be, they're going to call that in. I don't know about that one. Rebels trail 18-12. Ball played over as 2 Rebels run into each other. They got to communicate more. They have to communicate, as it's been 2 or 3 times now in the last 4 points where a couple of Rebels have collided on plays that I know they can make. Serve over from Neal. They go Scott left wing. She attacks. Dug out there by Shaw. Bears are going to have to play it over as they do to Taylor. They set up Scott left wing. She'll attack again. This time, this finds the arms of Birch in the back row. Crockett attacks. Pugmire diving effort keeps it alive as the Bears hit it into the net. As the diving effort from Pugmire to save it. Teed it up for Sharp. She just missed, hits it into the net. 19-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Wallenstein to serve. Ball over, dug out by Birch. Go to Skinner as the Rebels bump it into the net. As Tess Cornea is going to sub in for Casey Wilson. Cornea getting her first varsity minutes of the season. Served by Skinner. Taylor with the dig. As Pugmire pushes it over. Skinner digs it out. Bears go to Crockett as she's going to find the hard one on the far side. And it's becoming an avalanche on the Rebels here. 20-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Actually make that 21-13. Bears looking to force the set 5. Taylor with the dig. Cornea sets up Scott as she attacks, finds Shaw. Middle of the floor, they go to Skinner on the wing. Actually, that's Birch. She crushes that ball down the line. for a kill. 22-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Skinner to the line to serve. Scott with the dig. Cornea plays it back to the middle of the floor where Pugmire pushes it over. Skinner digs it out. They go middle of the floor, blocked by Pugmire, and the Bears are unable to return it. Katie Pugmire picks up another block, her 8th of the game. (22-14) on the Station on Main scoreboard as Rebels looking to build some momentum here to end the set. Smith with the serve, dug out by Neal. They go Birch, right wing, that's deflected high in the air. Rebels get the attack, Pugmire, middle of the floor. Nicely dug out there by Armstrong, Bears play it over. Rebels set up Scott, left wing, she attacks, deflected. Good effort by the back line for the Bears to keep it alive. They attack, and that's too far out of bounds across that back line. 22-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Smith back to the line to serve. Smith serve, dug out by Armstrong. Bears do a good job getting it back to the middle of the floor just to play it over. Rebels dig it out. They go to Scott, left wing. She attacks, finds Shaw. As Crockett tries to tip it, it's going to fall in. Actually, Smith got to it, unable to get it back in the air are the Rebels. As Ellsworth's going to check in, 23-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bears 2 points away from a 5th set. As Wells back into the game. Shaw to serve. Scott digs it out. Is going to get the attack from the left wing. That's deflected into the arms of Shaw, who seems to be defensively perfect every play. As Birch attacks that one, that's too far out of bounds, as that nearly takes a spectator with her. That's the fun thing about this tournament is they play sideways compared to what you would play normally, as the bleachers are in play and they are in the line of fire. You have to keep your head on a swivel. Bears set up Birch again. This time she deflects it. Ellsworth with the dig. Taylor's going to bump it over. Neal digs that out. They set up Wells, middle of the floor. She attacks, finds Wallentine. Rebels set up. Taylor, hard attack with the right hand, dug out by Shaw. As that's going to take a funny bounce for the Bears. That's going to stay on their side as the Rebels will pick up the point. 23-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we're going to get a timeout, and as they do, you're listening to the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team on 98.3 KDQ is tuned in online with live video coverage on online at mylocalradio.com. More from the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth after this.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as the Bears attack off the front line of the Rebels out of bounds. Set point for the Bears to force a decisive set 5. As the Rebels dump set there from Cornea, snuffed out by the Bears. They go to Wells, middle of the floor, and she didn't quite get all of that one. If the Bears want to force set 5, they'll have to do it on the return, as the Rebels will send Haiti Pugmire to the line to serve. Pugmire serve. Dug out in the back row by Armstrong. They go to Birch. She attacked. That's too far out of bounds across the right sideline, 24-19. Pugmire will go back to the line to serve. As Ellsworth has to navigate a whole entire West Side Pirates JV team to go get that ball as they're warming up for their game on the other side. Pugmire lets it go. Shaw with the dig. They go Wells, middle of the floor. She tips it over. Haiti Pugmire snuffs that out. Rebels go Taylor, left wing. She attacks, finds the hardwood, inbounds as it's 24-20. As give Violet Taylor her 16th kill of the game. Pugmire back to the line to serve. As the Bears just launched the ball that they're playing the game with, as they thought it was a ball coming from the warm-ups. As Birch looks on in absolute horror as she realized what she just did. Pugmire's serve, dug out in the back row by Armstrong. As they go to Wells, she'll attack, and that finds the hardwood as the Bears force a decisive set 5. Actually, no. The set continues as Wells goes into the net, 24-21. The Bears are all on the sideline. They can't believe it. It's going to be delayed adulation for the moment. 24-21, Rebels. Still alive here in set 4 as Pugmire back to the line. Serve over the net. Dug out by Shaw. Wells will attack again. This time she tips it. Ellsworth with the dig. Rebels try to set up Taylor as Pugmire's going to bump it over on the miss hit. Bears on the attack. Wells is not going to get an opportunity to attack. That's a lift call. As we're going to get a timeout called by Bear Lake as you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Pugmire serve, dug out by Armstrong. Bears look to attack. It's Crockett. Finds the arms of Scott. Cornea sets up Wallentyne. She'll attack middle of the floor. Finds Birch. Birch is going to get attacked from the left wing. Tipped over. Ellsworth with a dig. Cornea sets up Wallentyne as she tips it over. Bears play it to Birch. She attacks Scott with a nice dig. As it's going to be tipped down as that deflected off of Scott too far out of bounds. And that'll do it for us here in set number 2. The Rebels pick up a little momentum at the end of the set, but we're going to a decisive set number 5. I believe. As we are going to set number 5, we're going to take a break. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com and listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
With the title defense underway, the Rich Rebels hit the road for an early season test. They take on the Kemmer Rangers Thursday night at 6 p.m. The tough sledding continues as the Rebels travel to the Cokeville Invite, where they will play the Star Valley Braves in the opener at 8 a.m. Stay tuned for day 2 of the tournament, as we'll have every single Rebels match from day 2 of the Cokeville Invite. This is Aaron Poling inviting you to catch all of these games on 98.3 KDQ as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we are heading to a decisive set number 5. Of course, the 5th set is to 15 instead of the traditional 25. Rebels and Bears, as very similar to the last time these two teams played. If you enjoyed this one, don't worry. These two teams are going to get together next week in Rich, as it'll be a blast again. This has been a very, very competitive volleyball game. A lot of fun. If you're the Rebels, though, here in set number 5, you got to clean up some of the communication errors, as they made a couple of plays in that last set where one player was probably behind the ball ready to play it, and instead of alerting their teammates that they got it. The other teammates not knowing there's someone behind them, they try to dive in, make a save, and instead they deflected away from a teammate that was ready to go. So you got to communicate a little bit better if you're the Rebels. As I thought Tess Cornea in her short time on the bench as Wilson will replace her, thought Tess did a good job of communicating as she was loud. And, that's going to be the key here, as normal talking is not going to get the job done, as it's a loud gym. You got 2 games going on. So if you're the Rebels, you got to communicate loudly and efficiently, as we are going to get underway here in set number 5. Bears will serve first. As the 2 liberos, Shaw and Ellsworth, are looking to check in. One last check before we go to set number 5. As Shaw's checks in. So does Ellsworth. Serve over from Sharp. Dug out by Taylor. There goes Scott from the left wing, 10-foot line. Nice dig there by Birch as they go right back to her as Taylor's diving effort to keep it alive to no good. Bears go up 1-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Reminder, it's a race to 15 here in set number 5. Sharp back to the line. Lets the ball go as Ellsworth can't quite get to that one. That's going to be an ace. Bears up 2-0. Sharp with the serve. Scott with the dig. Wilson goes to Pugmire, middle of the floor. She attacks left-handed. That's blocked at the net, and on the dig attempt, it's played away from the rest of the Rebels as Pugmire tried to save that one, and when she did, it got just a little bit too far for Ellsworth to get there, and the Bears lead 3-0. Ball over. Taylor with the dig. As it's tipped back down, Pugmire saves it over the net, but it's going to go out of bounds. 4-0 in set number 5. Rebels trail as they jumped ahead 2 sets to none in the game. Looking to avoid disaster here as they trail by 4. As that's another ace as Ellsworth can't dig that out. As Smith's going to come into the ball game. 5-0 Bears on the Station on Main scoreboard here in set number 5. Sharp back to the line. She'll let it go as the ball is popped into the air. Nobody can get to it. 6-0 Bears on top. Catastrophic start to set number 5 as we're going to get a timeout. You're watching 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Buying or selling real estate can be fun, especially when you have a realtor that's working hard on your behalf. Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty have unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise. The team at Bear Lake Realty will work to get you the best price. Whatever you're looking for, buying or selling, residential, commercial, year-round living, half shares, quarter shares, or income property, hire the best real estate company, Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Rebels with a lot of work to do. They trail 6-0 here in set 5. As Violet Taylor digs out the serve. They go middle of the floor. Pugmire. She attacks. It's going to be a lift called against Wilson. 7-0. As back to the line to serve is Sharp. Rebels dig it out, goes Scott. She attacks from the left wing. That's going to fall in as the Rebels pick up their first point of set number 5. See if that gets a little momentum going in the Rebels side as Scott picks up kill number 14. As she'll go to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Birch. Middle of the floor, Wells, her attack into the net. It's going to fall in for the Rebels. 7-2. Falls in on the Bears side. Rebels pick up the point. As Scott will serve again. Dug out by Shaw. As they go Birch on the right wing side. Nice dig there by Smith. Rebel set up Taylor on the left wing. She punches over with the left hand. Read nicely there by Sharp as that's deflected at the line. Scott's able to dig it. Taylor on the attack, goes out of bounds on that sideline. Rebels pick up a point, 7-3. And that's Taylor's 17th kill of the game. Scott with the serve. Ball over to Shaw. As they go Wells, middle of the floor, tips it over, and that's going to fall in. 8-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Birch will go to the line to serve. As we're going to get a substitution as Cassie Argyle into the game for the Rebels. Birch, her serve, dug out by Pugmire. Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing as that's off the arms of Birch. Good diving effort to keep it alive. Wells has to bump it over as Smith gets to it. Scott plays it back to the middle of the floor for Pugmire, who hits it into the net. As it has not been a clean fifth set for the Rebels as Birch will serve. Scott with the dig. They go to Taylor left wing. She attacks. That's off of one of the Bear Lake players in the back. That's Sharp out of bounds. 9-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Pugmire will serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Shaw. As the Bears tried to set up Crockett. It was a little out of her hitting zone. As that falls in, 9-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wallentine checks in for Argyle. Pugmire back to the line to serve. Lets it go. That's played over to the Rebels side. Look to set up the offense as Taylor attacks. That falls in. Violet Taylor with her 18th kill of the game. Pugmire goes back to the line to serve. Ball over. Shaw digs it out, plays it sideways as it's tapped over. Wallentine gets an arm to it. Wilson gets it in the air as Taylor punches it over with the backhand. Bears read that well as Skinner looks to attack. That's deflected. Diving up for Taylor, keeps it wide. Pushed over by Wallentine. Bears on the attack with Skinner. Finds Scott. Rebels looking to set up attack of their own. Taylor left wing, right hand. Off the arms of Shaw into the wall as the Rebels pull within two. Let's check that out on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. As Taylor attacks off the arms, you can see of Shaw. Give that 19 kills for the Rebels. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Bears as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KADQ.
Whether you're recovering from an injury, just had surgery, or you're dealing with a chronic condition, Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. In addition to the top-of-the-line facilities, we are the only physical therapy clinic in Southwest Wyoming with a full-size therapy pool and spa for aquatic-based treatment. Call today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Welcome back to the Union broadcast, Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, that is. 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bears up 2 with Pugmire back to the line to serve. Buzzer goes off. We are ready to go as Pugmire lets the serve go over the net. Off the arms and out of bounds. It's an ace. Rebels within 1. Haiti Pugmire picks up the ace to go along with her 8 blocks, 3 kills. As she's had herself quite the contest from that middle blocker spot. She serves again. Ball over. Dug out by Skinner. She's going to have to attack from the 10-foot line. Smith digs it out in the back row as they go Taylor left wing. And we are tied here in set number 5. The Rebels come all the way back from down 9-3. Opportunity here to take the lead. What a comeback from the Rebels as Pugmire goes back to the line to serve. Ball in the air, and that is too far out of bounds as the Bears retake the lead. Rebels with an opportunity on the counter here as they'll send Wells to the line to serve. Her serve dug out by Pugmire. Scott plays it middle of the floor as Wallentyne's going to safely bump it over. Birch on the dig as they go near side. Crockett off of Scott, out of bounds. As they make that Skinner crush that ball, knock Hannah Scott down. Bears back up 2. As Wells, her serve, dug out by Taylor. They're going to go right back to Taylor on the left wing. She attacks, and that is off the arms of the back row player. And the Bears are run into each other, unable to return it as Violet Taylor gets the kill. That ball knocked down Birch in the back row. Give that an even 20 kills for Taylor as Wilson to the line to serve. Ball over. That's another service error. That's 4 in the set for the Rebels. 12-10. As they send Taisley Neal to the line to serve. Neal serve. Dug out by Scott. Wilson sets up Wallentyne, who tips it. It's deflected down on the Rebels side. Another Rebels mistake. Bears capitalizes. We're going to get a timeout. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3 KADQ. We'll be back right after this.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich Rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Rebels with some work to do. They trail 13-10 here in set number 5 as Neal, her serve, finds the arms of Taylor. Rebels set Taylor up on the left wing. She attacks. That's deflected out of bounds. Rebels pick up the point, 13-11. As this will send Violet Taylor to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Shaw. As they go to Crockett, Pugmire is able to dig that out. Rebels will play it over with Scott on the reverse bump. Neal digs that out. They go Skinner. That's going to be off of Taylor. Hits the net, stays in play as Pugmire plays it over. As that ball was out of bounds, it hit the net on the ceiling and came back to the Rebels. As we can safely assume, that ball would have probably landed at the scorer's table on the far floor, as that is the correct call. Serve over, dug out by Scott. They go to Scott on the left wing as the Rebels look to extend the play, and that goes too far out of bounds. As the Rebels drop this one after going up 2-0. When we come back, we'll have your Independent Software Solutions postgame show. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. More from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth after this. You're also listening on 98.3 KADQ.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
We're off to the rodeo. My Local Rodeo is proud to bring you live streaming coverage of high school rodeo from Utah and Wyoming, as well as the Intermountain Icebreaker of the National High School Rodeo Association's Western Legacy Series in 2023 and 2024. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast sponsor and advertising your business to the most loyal group of viewers in the country, you won't find a better opportunity. Call us today to claim your spot, 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116. We're off to the rodeo.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. As Rebels drop this one 3-2. As it's time for Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. As the Rebels win the first set 25-19, set number 2 25-23, lose 25-19, 25-20, and then it dropped the 5th set 15-12. And that's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap on the Independent Software Solutions post-game show. When we come back, we'll have some post-game highlights for you as you're watching 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. More from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth after this.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for your Town of Woodruff post-match highlights on the Independent Software Solutions post-game show. As the Rebels put up some stats today, it was they're going to look back on this one. They're going to want this one back. But the good news, as when we get to our calendar update, the Rebels won't have to wait very long to get their second shot at this Bear Lake team. As Violet Taylor led the way with 20 kills and a block. Hannah Scott poured in 9 kills, a block, and an ace. Pugmire finishes the game with 3 kills, 8 blocks, and an ace. Wallentyne a kill, a block, and 2 aces. Smith a kill, 2 blocks, and an ace. Wilson a kill and an ace. As those are your Town of Woodruff post-match highlights as the Independent Software Solution post-game show rolls on after this commercial break. As you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as on 98.3 KDQ.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. it is time for your Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. And for that, we're going to go to the last kill that Violet Taylor was able to pick up to give her a season high, team high 20 in the contest. As when we come back, we'll have your Crawford Troth Player of the Game as you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether you're having a great day or not, food always makes it better. Delicious, fresh cooked favorites like a juicy cheeseburger, a thick raspberry shake, onion ring, fries, or a River Bridge soda. A grilled chicken wrap always hits the spot. And don't forget twisted ice cream cones. They never disappoint. Have the always friendly and helpful staff at the Crawford Trough, and you've got the perfect recipe for a perfect meal. Something tasty from the Crawford Trough always makes your day better. Stop in today. The Crawford Trough, Randolph.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Back to Les Schwab, Plains Tire's broadcast booth. It's time for the Crawford Troth Player of the Game. And for that, we're going to give it to Violet Taylor. Picks up 20 kills in the contest. Of course, these stats unofficial, as she is your Crawford Troth Player of the Game on the Independent Software Solutions post-game show. It is time for your calendar update before we sign off. And we have another game for the Rebels today as they will play again at 1 p.m. They will play the loser of Evanston Lyman. It's a good opportunity to shake that one off and get right back on the horse. After a loss like that, I think the best thing you can do is get back out on the court and play again and try to shake it off, because the Rebels did a lot of good in that game. They made some mistakes and it cost them, but you know, it's part of a team that's kind of evolving from last year. And if you're worried about the record being 3-3, think back to last year. This time the Cokeville tournament, Rebels went 2-0 before the tournament, went 1-2 day one. Then they lost their first game on day two, came back to win two more. So, I mean, it's legitimately the same. We're at the same record as the point we were last year. So, I mean, if you're worried about the Rebels this season, it's still early on, and they're still learning. New coaching staff, new system. But I like that the Rebels are going to be able to get back out on the court and give it another go. As, you know, you want to shake a loss off like this as quickly as possible, but also for the Rebels to get a chance at that Bear Lake team again. You only have to wait till Thursday, and they'll get another shot at them, as I'm sure the Rebels are going to come out fired up for that one, as they feel they owe Bear Lake one. As I'm sure Bear Lake felt that way when they came in to play Rich this year after the same thing happened last year for the Rebels winning. So, you know, this is one of those things that happens. It happens in sports. But what really tells you how good of a team you are is how you respond, as the Rebels are going to play either Evanston or Lyman at 1 o'clock today. We'll have that game for you on mylocalradio.com as 98.3 KDQ. But until next time, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on mylocalradio.com.